Hello and welcome to the paddock here in Brazil. Mark Webber alongside me as he has been all weekend, and you can see we have a very special person here, Sebastian Vettel, four-time world champion. Thanks for joining us. Not bad for a number 2 guest.
Not bad, not bad. He's all right for an old dog.
Exactly, I'm getting there.
Sebastian, we'll get on to the reason why you're here. You like that?
Yeah, I love the intro.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I wasn't sure if everyone got that one, but we'll get to that. You're here for a very special reason. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Are you enjoying the F1 season as much as we are? I mean, Mark's heart rate's been a bit up and down because he manages Oscar.
Yeah, for sure.
But you're enjoying it?
I'm enjoying it to watch and follow, and obviously, I've raced with most of the drivers on the grid and still in touch, and it's great to see the races, even from a distance, and I love the sport, so it's great to see the championship now closing in.
We've got a situation in this championship where we have two teammates both battling it out for their first title. Mark, I imagine that a lot of people at home remember you two battling it out in 2010.
Yeah.
Are the emotions, even though you're doing a slightly different job now, have you been thinking about that at all?
I think it was, believe it or not, nearly easier when I was in the car, because obviously you're across everything, you got more control over what can happen. Even obviously it was a tremendous fight with Lewis and Fernando. The four of us went to Abu Dhabi. Long season, of course, draining for all of us. That's elite sport. That's what it's about. When you're competing against the best people, with the best people, week in, week out, obviously it takes its toll. But ultimately, now from a distance with Oscar, but still obviously, heavily involved. It's, he's so young in his career, as Seb was. Seb was, I was a bit older in my career, so it was a different part of our trajectory and journey, if you like. But to see him so young, year 3, fighting for a world title quite quickly, it's pretty surreal and bizarre, but nice to be involved, and because a lot of drivers don't fight for a title once in their career, so it's sort of like you got to try and find the positives, but also you want to, of course, win. That's the other side.
And when you think back to that time, it would be foolish to think that Oscar and Lando are both going to leave here tomorrow and not think about a championship until they get to Las Vegas. Can you remember how emotionally draining it was?
Yeah, I think I remember 2009 here, where I lost the championship to Jensen. And if you have that belief, which I think all 3 of them do have, I think Max is a bit more chilled because obviously he has won championships. But I think Lando and Oscar in particular, they do believe. So 2009 for me was a big, moment when I realized I can't win it anymore. And then exactly that, do I ever get in that position again? What's going to happen? And then I also remember, obviously 2010 was very intense, a lot of drivers into that final race. 2012 again here, so since we are in Sao Paulo, I remember the moment I came into the track, I was so nervous, fighting with Fernando for the title. The weather was doing whatsoever.
Yeah,
we had a really chaotic race. So it's impossible not to think about it, but then what helped me is constantly reminding myself, okay, this is a great position to be in, because it's a bit like, oh, I wish this was over and I wish I could just drive without having to think what might be the best for the championship. But then reminding myself that this is the position I want to be in. Now I'm leading the championship, or I'm still very much in grasp and control. This is a great place to be in, and what I always dreamt of. So that gave me then some peace, and so that I could calm down before getting in the car again.
So Mark manages Oscar. Will we ever see you back in Formula One in a different role? Do you have any ambition to come back in?
I mean, at the moment, I'm pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with what I'm, doing here. We get to it in a while, but
and tell us what we're doing here.
So yeah, pretty happy with kids and stuff. But one day, if the right challenge comes up, who knows? Never say never. But why I'm here is because I'm launching F1 Forest. We just got all the drivers before the drivers' parade, and we saw everybody drew a tree. The drivers drew a tree. I did. The people in the paddock. I need your guys' trees in a second.
This is what I've got so far.
We just started, so we had a head start. But the idea is to collect as many trees as possible. We also have it in the fan zone. I went to visit a school here locally in Sao Paulo. I went to an elderly home, so across generations. And I want as many people to take part, because I want many trees make a forest, so I want everybody to take part. And the idea is to plant seeds in our head, talking about forests and realizing how important they are and standing up for them and protecting them, because our climate is causing some trouble around the world. People are suffering, so I want to make people aware of it.
You've planted a lot of trees in your time?
I have, in Australia, yes, and we have 50 litres of honey every year in our property as well. So we're doing our bit, mate. We're trying.
That's a lot of blossoming.
We're trying.
Yeah, that's good.
You need to draw a tree.
Yes.
I'm going to tell people at home that the drivers' parade looked an awful lot of fun. Let's hear from some of the drivers now.